Nina Carter crouched beside the heavy motorcycle, her grease-stained hands working through years of rust. She was 26, smart, quiet, and spent most of her time fixing machines others had given up on. Her uncle's garage on the edge of Asheville, North Carolina, didn't get fancy customers, just busted lawnmowers and forgotten Harleys. But today was different. A man in his 60s had dropped off an old police motorcycle, barely able to speak more than, "Can you get it running?" before disappearing again. Something about the bike felt off. It wasn't just old, it was hiding something. Nina could feel it. While removing the fuel tank, she noticed a strange etching just below the mounting bracket. It looked like a hand engraved. Number definitely not factory. Nina copied it into her notebook. Later that evening, curiosity got the best of her. She plugged the number into old Vang lookup tools and cross-referenced police databases. Nothing showed up. Frustrated but intrigued, she decided she'd dig deeper tomorrow. What she didn't expect was to find, hidden deep in the air filter, housing, a folded cloth with an old sheriff's badge wrapped inside it. Tucked next to it, a faded Polaroid photo with faces scratched out. Nina stared at the photo longer than she meant to. There was a uniformed man in the middle, tall, proud, smiling. Behind him, a woman held a child, their faces purposely scraped. Away. The badge read Deputy R. Garrison. She recognized the name. Deputy Raymond Garrison was a local mystery, vanished a decade ago during a routine patrol. The police ruled it a desertion, but rumors around town told a different story. Now she had the missing motorcycle, his badge, and a disturbing photo in her hands. Her stomach turned. The next morning, Nina returned to the garage before sunrise. She worked through the bike again, checking the frame, tires, and exhaust system for more signs. Nothing else seemed unusual. But that photo wouldn't leave her mind. She made a few calls, including to Hal, an old retired officer who used to work with her late father. She showed him the badge and photo. Hal went silent. "That's Ray? And the woman?" "That's his sister. She vanished a few weeks after he did." His voice was heavy. "Where'd you find this, Nina?" She hesitated. "Inside the bike." That's when Hal knew this wasn't a coincidence. Something buried had clawed its way back to the surface. The coordinates Nina found etched into. The bike turned out to lead into the Blue Ridge Forest, a remote area once used for sheriff patrol training. The site had long been abandoned, but what if that's where Garrison disappeared? She and Hal planned to go out there that night. She wasn't a cop. Just a mechanic with dirty nails, a sharp mind, and a gut feeling. But in that moment, Nina knew, this wasn't just about a broken motorcycle. It was about a man who tried to expose something and vanished trying. Nina parked her old Jeep at the edge of the forest just as the sun dipped behind the mountains. Hal arrived minutes later, flashlight in hand and his revolver holstered. They followed the GPS coordinates etched onto the bike frame, winding through narrow dirt paths until they reached a collapsed wooden shed. It looked abandoned for years, overtaken by vines and silence. Nina moved to the back where the floor had sunken. Digging through the debris, her hand hit something hard metal. A rusted toolbox sealed shut. Inside it were sealed envelopes, microfilm, and handwritten logs with initials, dollar amounts, and officer names. Hal's face paled as he flipped through the records. These weren't just old notes, they were evidence of a pay-to-protect scheme. Inside the sheriff's department, Deputy Garrison had been documenting payouts, names of informants, and dates. He had been investigating his own department and must have hidden this in the one place he thought safe, his motorcycle. Nina realized the man who brought in the bike wasn't random, he was connected. Someone wanted to destroy the evidence. Once and for all. But they didn't expect it to fall into the hands of a young mechanic who refused to let things go. By morning, Nina had scanned every document and stored it digitally. With Hal's cautious guidance, she contacted a regional reporter known for taking down corrupt officials. The moment the story hit the internet, it exploded. Social media caught fire with the images of Deputy Garrison's badge, the mysterious photo, and decades of covered-up crime. The sheriff's office issued a statement, denying knowledge, but public pressure mounted. Within days, a federal investigation was launched. Arrests followed officers, councilmen, even the current sheriff. The man who dropped off the motorcycle had vanished, but it didn't matter. The truth was out. News vans surrounded Nina's uncle's garage. Reporters knocked daily. Everyone wanted to interview the mechanic who cracked a cold case. Nina hated the spotlight, but deep down she was proud. The badge, the bike, and her gut had pulled something dark into the light. Hal stood beside her through it all, smiling like a father figure. The garage saw more customers now than ever before. People came not just for repairs but to see where justice had been rebuilt from grease and steel. Nina didn't change much. Same jeans, same hands, same stubborn heart. The motorcycle, now fully restored, sat in the front of the shop beneath a glass cover. A tribute to Deputy Garrison. People left flowers, letters, and even medals. For Nina, it wasn't about becoming a hero. It was about finishing something someone else couldn't. The machine had been broken, but inside it was a voice that refused to stay silent. She didn't just fix a bike. She uncovered a truth that changed everything. And in a world full of noise, she learned that sometimes justice comes from the quiet work of someone who refuses to look away. Asterisk.